Hi guys, this is Chris with Alsaltyadventures. Today we're going to be installing the Newport Vessels NK180 Pro on the kayak with S&J Rod's steering rod. So special thank you to, oh yes, Amped Outdoors lithium ion battery. So thank you to Newport Vessels, Amped Outdoors, and S&J Rods. Of course, I am not sponsored or compensated in any way by any one of these, so I paid regular price for these. Links will be in the description below in the video. In case you're interested in these products, I'll give you links to where you can find them. Thank you guys, hope you enjoy this video, and tight lines. Alright guys, we're going to be doing an install on the Native Slayer Max 12.5. We got this Newport NK180 Pro. So we'll be doing an install video of the motor on the kayak. As you can see, it comes with all kinds of parts, and even the bags are neatly labeled, which you can't see very well. There we go, on what they are. The new versions come with these pulleys, which you used to have to buy separately. Comes with some extra parts, controller. Also, the new controllers come with this mounting plate, and so that's new. So this will actually mount right to your tracks if you want to do that. The nice thing about the newest NK180 Pro is this. The wiring coming out of the motor is short, and then it plugs in. It used to be all one wire, but now I won't have to have wiring laying all the way across here. I can actually run it in through the internals of the kayak and have it hidden, which I like. So stay tuned, and we'll get on this install. Alright guys, first we're going to do the motor mount. And the nice thing about these is that the Slayer Max comes with these already pre-drilled and pre-mounted bolts for motor, or the, I can't think of what they're called. The little mini power poles, that's what I was thinking. So we'll remove these screws, and in the back I put these track mounts in, so we'll throw some screws in there, and that's what the holes will line up perfectly. So go ahead and take these out. And we'll line up our motor mount here. First, take a little thread locker, some blue, don't want to put the red in, and put some in the holes there. That way screws don't come undone later when we're not wanting that. So I'll line up, put our front ones in first, and just get them started with their fingers. Now we'll get these back ones lined up. And I just got your standard stainless screws to go in these back mounts. Get your hardware store. And we'll try to get this lined up. There we go. All right, and then we'll tighten these in a, start up with the front. Get that nice and tight, then go back and do kind of like a crisscross or star pattern. And there we go. The mount's on. That simple. So next, we're gonna mount our motor on here. And okay, so again, we'll get the motor started. This is a motor pin, or the motor mount, that will go through this hole here, a single hole. This new version just has the single hole here. The older one had kind of like a U shaped slot. Take the cotter pin off and spin it. And then we'll just drop the motor in. The other nice thing about these new ones is it basically comes more or less pre-assembled. So you're not running wires or brackets, trying to get everything lined up. There we go. And just hand tighten that, because you want the motor to be able to kick free when it does. And throw your cotter pin back in. So that's it. That once we get everything installed, that'll be it. Now, we're going to go ahead and lock the turning Y here into the center position. Then we have a center locking pin that you can put in. So that way, if you're using your rudder on your kayak, then this will be locked straight and you won't have to worry about turning. I'm going to end up using a rod that will mount to one side, and as a stick that will run up forward by S&J rods. And I think I'll really like that. At a later time, I might hook my regular steering up to this. It has cable, I can do that, but we'll see how I like that first. The other nice thing is Newport Vessels gives you tools. So you have all the tools you'll need to do this. So we'll loosen this up, that way we can turn the actual motor. Loosen both the front, or the top and the bottom bolt. That way this turning horn can turn on the shaft. There we go. Now this is a little tight, but that's okay. We'll want to set our height for our motor. And what I'm going to do is stand by. All right, so to set your motor height, and this is just how I'm going to do it. this one time is I put my rudder down that I'm used to steer, and I'm going to set this about the same depth, well, as far down as it will go, it looks like. But you want to keep the skega of your motor about the same depth, maybe a little less than your rudder. So we'll go ahead and line that up. The other thing you want to do is, I forgot to do this, is you have this pin that this basically is what the motor rests on, and then when you pull the reverse lock, it'll lock onto this pin. And what this does is when your motor drives, depending on your kayak, and they're all different, that's why it has several different slots, it will flex a little bit. So when it pushes, it will be actually level. I'm going to start out with the second one, and we'll see how it goes. So when I go out, have someone that's with you or whatever, just kind of watch and see if the motor's sitting straight.
You're a quarter. You might want to.
All right, so we have our height set, our steering, our motor's straight as as best we can. Now we're gonna install the bar here for the pull it up to retract the motor out of the water, and it goes on this top bolt back here. So we'll get this loosened up. Alright, so this has two different holes on it, big hole, little hole. Obviously, bolt's not going to go through the little hole, so we push this down into place, line up the holes, put the bolt back through, and tighten it back up. Okay, next we're going to install our lift cable and our reverse actuating cable. They come with these nice color coordinated handles. It says lift and reverse. 2 ropes, pulleys. So what we'll end up doing is, since I'm going to run the lift one down the right side of my kayak, I'll put that there, and so pull that out, and then up here use our pulley on a carabiner up here, and then attach that to our lifting bar. Maybe, somehow. There we go. So that way, when we take the motor off, all we have to do is disconnect here, disconnect here, and then here, and it pulls right off. So we'll run this up through the pulley to make it easier. That side.
We're back to when it's right.
Okay, so we take our rope And if you're running it on the right side of your kayak, like I am, you hook your carabiner on your left side here, run it up through the pulley, back down through the right eyelet, because it's going down on the right side. And then this is where I had to buy this separately from Yak Attack, an eyelet to get it over here. And you'll run it up the side. And that way, when you pull it, it lifts your motor. So you can see it runs the length. Now I'm going to mount the handle right about in here, so that way in my little thing, my kayak, I use it, it has a section for like bottles and stuff, but it has a slit. I'm going to be able to just drop my handle in there, and as soon as I get that figured out, I'll show you how that's going to work. So okay, so we got our lifting rope installed. You see, pull that and it lifts it up and down, and then we'll just, when we have it lifted up and I want to hold in place, I'm just gonna lock it in right there. So, otherwise, have it down, and this is where I mount my paddle there when I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to have this sitting right there. Now for the other side, we have the reverse lock cable. So want to mount, I have my catch board mounted there, so I needed to install that. That way I knew where to put the lifting IC. Connect here with the carabiner, run it through the left eyelet since it's going up the left side. Have another eyelet here to help keep it out of your way. I'll just run it up the side and I'll stay here by my seat. That way when I want to go in reverse, it's right there for me. And I just pull it. And it's marked reverse. In case you forget, I don't know. Anyway, let's get the control mounted to the other side there. Okay, so the control box comes with this mounting plate here, and 2 screw holes screwed right into there conveniently, and it comes with the 2 screws. So we'll go ahead and mount the control box to this mounting plate, and then we can slide this right on our track or on another mounting plate, like if you have a Yak Attack mount, so you can actually raise this up. You can do that, which I plan on doing later. They didn't have any in stock. So we'll put our screws in and get this mounted up to the track. Okay, so got the screws in, got the controller mounted up to the plate. And another nice thing that Newport has done is they've already got your little lanyard extension coming out, so you don't have to worry about that. And then here's your magnetic safety switch. Make sure you always have that attached to your life vest. Alright, so we're going to mount the controller right here to my track, at least temporarily. Now this is going to block my area here where I usually keep my 3600. Eventually I'm going to have it on a mount, so it'll actually sit up here and I'll have full access of all my storage areas. It comes with these nice little knobs, so we'll get those installed. Slide down the track. Okay, got this, and we'll just tighten these up. I have it on backwards. Pay attention. Make sure you don't put it on backwards. Okay. We'll try this again. Alright, so locked in place. And you just tighten these and twist them. They lock into place like so. Now your controller is ready for you. So, doing a little pre-planning for the wiring. Kind of show you what I plan on doing with that. I have my battery, and we went mounted securely just behind the seat. Here's a quick disconnect that comes with the motor for your battery. That way you can just quick disconnect, take your battery out and put it on the charger if you want, or just leave it there and connect it to the charger. So with that being said, I'm going to, because they just give you this little short pigtail, which is very nice, I'll be drilling a hole here, and that way I'll connect the power cables right here, run my control cable right next to it, and use a Yak Attack through hull grommet to help keep water out. And then I can run all my cables, power cables and stuff, underneath, and it'll be nice and hidden and out of the way. And then we are going to have it come out. See if I can show this to you where. Right here on the side. So cables will come out here, go up to the control box, and then to the battery connection here, and it'll be all out of the way. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that and show you a little bit, but I know you guys don't want to see the entire process. So we got this cut out for the plug, so that way I can just attach here. We have the plug here, we have the control box wire going through this grommet. We're going to run it in the hull all the way out over to that hole. Where'd it go? Oh, right there. So use our handy dandy wire fishing device, and we'll get it up there. Okay guys, we have the motor installed. We have the wires connected through our through hull points. That way the power and the control wire is hidden. We have our lifting cable, our reverse cable run. Where we came out on the side and have a Yak Attack through hull grommet there with our power wires and our control wire. And of course we have the quick disconnect here for when we want to take the battery out or charge it. And we'll put some dielectric grease on this connection, then has a cover that goes over that. Hooked up to our amped outdoors lithium 50 amp hour 24 volt battery that connects the Bluetooth to my phone so I can see pertinent information about the battery charge, temperature, all that. Of course, our controller here tells us what our battery level is, what percentage the throttle's at, and if we turn that on, see that, and how many watts we're using currently, which is 8 watts. And you can see she's spinning. So there we go. Next we'll tidy all this up, put my cap on the battery, and connect the steering rod, which I think I'm really gonna like. So hold on, let's start working on that next. Okay, so next guys, we're gonna do the steering stick by S&J rods. You can see it comes with the little horn that attaches to the motor and the steering Y connector. Connection that goes on to that, and then a stick which you can cut to length, all the hardware you might need, even a little mighty mount in case you need to install it somewhere in your kayak because your tracks don't line up to run your guide ring through. So that's going to be nice. So let's get installed on the install. We'll start, and here we go. Hopefully this should be fairly self-explanatory. If not, I'm sure we'll find a way to... So again, this goes on the steering horn, lines up with the holes already, and this can go on either side, no matter which way you're going to run your steering. Comes with bolts. Let's line those up. And your washers and lock nuts. Get those started. There we go. So it lines up, throw your bolts through. I'm getting those tightened up real quick. Let me go get a wrench and figure. All right, so these are 7/16 for you guys that want to know. Don't have to go searching. So we'll get this tightened up, and we have the lock nuts on bottom. Put your bolts through, going from top down. That way. They shouldn't, but because you have lock nuts, but if they would fall off, your bolts are still, gravity will help keep them in place for a little bit maybe. So get that tightened, not too tight because this is plastic after all. And then this just slides on here, and then held in place with a little cotter pin, and that way when you steer, and then the rod goes through, connects through this little turnbuckle connection with a cotter, another pin. Like so. All right, let's get my locking pin out because I want my motor to be able to steer. Okay, now push or pull, and you have full steering capability of your motor. And this little piece flexes. So next, and it comes with a little end for the rod. We'll figure out kind of where I want it up here, and we'll go ahead and cut the rod to length and put that end on. Okay guys, here we go. The motor is installed. NK180 Pro. We have our lifting rope there. Run up through the eyelets, up to the right side. Our reverse cable there. We have our steering rod from S&J rods. And this little Mighty Max mount that they give you came in handy because I wasn't able to use my track, so I was able to do this on the side. And now it's right up here where I need it. So as you can see, left, right, full turning capability. So that'll be nice. Of course, the amped outdoors, 50 amp hour lithium 24 volt battery, and then a controller mounted securely to the existing tracks. I put my fish finder and stuff up here kind of see how everything would be once I get in my, my fishing gear outfit. So it'll GoPro stick. So I'm excited. I'm excited to try this out tomorrow. Have the last tournament of the year for MBKFA. So, all right. Stay tuned for some underwater reviews and testing. First voyage on the kayak with the new Newport Vessels NK180 Pro. So far, so good. I like this. It's going to make those long days a lot shorter. So stay tuned. So as we're heading out to the fishing spot, we got running about 85% on the throttle for the NK180 Pro. And we're at 5.2 miles per hour. I'll take that all day long. All right, so at 100%, we got up to 5.7, 5.8 miles an hour. Not bad for fully loaded kayak for fishing day. I'll take that.